Tinnitus hit me about, 15 weeks ago. It was a real stressful time in my life, and it pretty much came from out of nowhere. It was a real high-pitched tone combined with a hiss. You can imagine that. That was really never-ending. It was 24/7, and really I couldn't think, couldn't operate. It was awful. First thing people do is they typically go to their ear, nose, and throat doctor, and even to their family doctor. And then what they hear is that there is no cure. Basically, go home and live with it. That's what people are told. And so I couldn't. That wasn't an option for me. So I had to find something that would help me. So I went to the internet and started searching, and waded through all the scams and the supposed cures and the pills, the eardrops, and all kinds of suggestions until I finally lucked out and just landed on BeyondTinnitus.com. Pure luck that I ended up there. Science is really interesting. It's when I was reading through it, it sounded like something that could work. What they do is they create a sound file for you. It's a group of subharmonics at a lower range than what you're hearing in your head, and you listen through earphones to the sound file. And what happens is that you retrain your brain to hear the lower tones, and then you no longer hear the high tone. It's not an overnight fix, though, and it takes patience and time for it to work. But it does work. I would. For me, it was a no-brainer because mine was so bad. And with the premium service, it's a few extra dollars, but the help that you receive is very one-on-one. And in my case, Arthur, the engineer who developed the software, spent a lot of quality time with both me and my doctor through GoToMeeting.com. To make sure that I followed the protocol correctly and did it right. And for me and for anybody, I would suggest for a few extra dollars, it was well worth it. What I did first off is I emailed Dr. Julian a few times because I had questions and concerns, and he answered them pretty much immediately, and his responses were very thorough. It started with a meeting with my doctor where Arthur, the engineer who developed the software, explained the science behind it to both of us and how basically how it works. The protocol calls for you to listen to the sound file for 2 weeks, 8 hours a day, and then after that drop the sound file into your music. I found that the sound file itself works very well, and it's very unobtrusive, and you can sleep with it with your earphones on, and you can listen to it during the day and still function and talk to people and do whatever it is you need to do. I guess the main thing is that people really don't have to live with this. They're told they do, but they really don't, and there really is help that's very real. It's not an overnight fix. I've been into the program for about 14 weeks, and it's made a huge difference to the point where I'm 80% better all the time, many days 90 to 100% clear, and so it does really work. Well, I would recommend for anybody who has tinnitus to go to BeyondTinnitus.com. If you have questions, fill out the contact form. You can sign up right away. And start getting help right away. And finally, I'd like to thank Dr. Julian and Arthur for all their help. They've just been tremendous throughout this whole process. And I think the bottom line of all this is just know that if you have tinnitus, you don't need to live with it.